Hi, family. Let me welcome you to yet another exclusive episode of the Ink and Think podcast. This is a podcast for audacious kids. And my guest today, hey, man, a powerhouse in the form of Thuto, Lesedi, Gaasenwe. Gaasenwe. Oh, yeah, Thuto. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for the invite. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's actually a privilege,
Yeah.
and I don't mean this lightly. Like, it is a huge privilege, from watching you on stage and to having this conversation with you.
I am humbled.
How are you?
I'm good. I was like, you know what? It's going to be a tough, long week, but we are here.
Ready for the rehearsals.
Yes.
From time to time, there's always like a thought that usually occupies my mind. So I'm just wondering, Jorge, in the process of these rehearsals, what's like that thought that is like in your mind? It could be a negative thought or it could be a positive thought.
Yeah.
But knowing you, it's probably like, a powerful quote that is driving you for this week.
Oh, man. I think most of the time it's worry and stress and feeling like I just wanted to go well. I just wanted to be good. I just wanted to reflect and what I believe is like good work or good art or, and I always have to like leave that space for a bit every now and then and like just understand what is important is the story, and as long as I am working towards telling that story well, then everything will happen as it should. Mm-hmm. That is one of the quotes that runs in my mind, especially how stress. Mm-hmm. Everything happens as it should. Like that wasn't meant to happen, so I just need to just go with the flow of life.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right. So the reason why we're going to be having a conversation with Thuto is because she is a creator of a production called Lesedi, but she's actually more than that. So we're going to get a glimpse into her process and how she creates these work, and we're going to like journey through some of her work. Starting with a beautiful poem, TED Talks, that you did like 8 years ago. What is it called? It was actually 3 poems it was 3 series, I guess, titled with one title. Love Letters to Those Who Live in Lack. It was beautiful. How did that come about?
Oh my God, I can't believe you went hatile
I like I wanted to know, because Thuto, the first time when I got introduced to your work, it was the time you were doing Daddies of Sugars by Jeff.
Oh, yes.
And by that time, I haven't heard of you. I haven't seen your work. And I saw you on stage. I was like, this woman is coming with so much confidence, man. She's so bold. She's killing it. I'm like, who's this woman? So obviously one has to dig. One has to like find out what's the story behind this person. What was happening around that time?
I was actually doing my first year with VITS, my first year in civil engineering. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what was happening. And I promised myself that, I was like, I really hate this place. Like, I hate this course and this degree and just like having to do this. So I'm going to have to keep doing the things that I love. So poetry was one of like my main things back then. And it was also easy because I didn't need people. I just needed to write and perform. Like, I didn't need production or like, and so I was like seeking out spaces to perform when I was at FITS, because I was like, I'm not gonna be okay if I just do this. I think back then you could like go onto the TEDx website and request to speak or something. And so I requested, but I was like, I just wanna do poetry. I don't wanna like speak like how they do the TED Talks and stuff, but I want to present these poems, and I think they might have been in line with the theme. I forgot what the theme was, but the title of the series of poems was Love Letters to Those Who Have Lived in Lack. And it was really just like poems about like, blackness, black people, black women, justice, and it was a lot of the content. But it's funny because I recently was watching it, and I was forcing myself to watch it because I used to not be able to. It was a bit cringe because there was a part where I'm like, this is where I forgot the lines, and then like I made up, something, I improvised, but it was such a beautiful moment. My mom was there with me. I remember it was quite huge for me. And I think it needed to happen because not too long after that, I think, is when I decided I'm going to have to quit engineering and I'm going to have to do this art thing, and become the performer that I've always wanted to be. So yeah, that's how it came about, or how it happened. Yeah.
Hey man, when I did the intro, I said, "Oh, this is a podcast for like audacious kids," because I'm realizing as I'm having conversation with artists, I'm like, these people are so audacious, man. Yeah. These people are dreamers. These are people who are refusing to have their dream die. Yes. Speaking of that moment when you forgot those lines, I think obviously knowing you as a performer, I think I probably saw that, but no, it wasn't like, because I saw you took a deep breath,
and
then you repeated the line, but obviously to an untrained eye, it's but I was like, damn, this woman is doing this with poise, because like if it was me, I tell you, if it was any other performer, they were gonna stop.
But the thing is, we are trained to be prepared for moments like that. So you can't stop. Like, I'm in the middle of this piece, I'm here, I'm in front of these people, I have to make a plan. And maybe the performance won't be exactly how I want it to be, it won't be perfect, or but I have to come back from that. Like, I have to come. Otherwise, I'm going against myself and against the teachings and against, like, this is what you're supposed to do. If you forget a line on stage, I mean, if you're on set, if it's on camera, you're able to like start again, but like most staging, it's happening right now.
It's live.
Yes. So you have to just be brave. I think that's what being an artist or being a performer is all about. It's a very brave act, I believe. Yeah.
That was like 8 years ago, and there's nothing cringe about that performance. Like it's beautiful.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it.
Thank you so much.
But I'm just wondering, okay, from engineering, those thoughts that you had, what was like your thought process and you deciding to like stop engineering and going into this arts? Go engineering, and then what did you go and do?
I went and studied live performance. So before kids, like it was hard to like have to tell the family, have to tell my dad, who was very excited about having an engineer daughter. But I had to break the news, and it was tough for them to accept. But like eventually they did. It was too late in the year for me to like apply for other like universities or reapply again for VITs, and so I had to take what was there, and what was there was after. So I went there, and initially I was gonna do writing. I was still afraid. I was still like, full blown acting. Let's I started with the film side. I did producing and directing and writing, and then when it came for me to like choose my majors for second year, I was like, okay, I think I have to do this. Like, I think this is why I came here, and there's no turning back. Because I was really sad at VITS. Like, that was the first time I saw her. Oh, this is depression. This is what it looks like. Like, I wasn't going to lectures at some point. Like, my second semester was just, and I knew I had to get out of there. So, moved on, went to study live performance, and Yeah.
What initially drove you to civil engineering? It's a beautiful career, by the way.
Yeah. So I initially wanted to do architecture because I really loved, there's a subject there's a subject called EGD, Engineering, Graphics and Design.
Oh.
And that was like my favorite subject in high school. And I thought, if I'm gonna like go this very academic route, and if they don't want me to be in this art thing, I'd rather let me at least do something that I will enjoy. But then Batsadi, heavy academics, heavy.
I can imagine.
You know, they're like, no man, civil engineering, you're 4 years, it's already, you know, and opportunities, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, okay, well. I'm like, okay, cool. But they didn't force me. It was more of a conversation of more of them like, you know, convincing me like, oh, this is what you're going to be able to do, and this and that. I also did my research as well. And yeah, that's how I got into it. But like first lecture, I walked into that lecture room and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to finish this degree. It's not going to happen. Yeah. But I didn't know how long it was going to take me. I thought I would at least maybe get to like second year or something. But Moyaware, no, baby.
We did something. No, this is not going to be my journey.
I felt it in the body. I was like, no.
You know the funny thing about people who want to do engineering, like at some point I had it was not a dream. I never really dreamt of doing engineering, but I thought of it. And the terrifying thought about it was always the drawing part of the thing. Was like, okay, I can deal lidi palo and whatnot, but as for drawer, whether you do it kadi software, I am not going there. But the funny thing is that you're the first person who was actually attracted by that part, you know. It's funny. We are happy that you made the decision and we get to witness the great performer that you are.
Yes.
Tito, I had two of my fond memories. One, obviously, seeing you doing Jefferson Daddies of Sugar. Two was me having to meet your parents. I don't remember which production were you doing at the time. You know, I went there and I greeted them because I was like, I need them to like touch me.
Oh my gosh.
Can we talk a little bit about the support that you have from your family? You know, because I can tell you come from a supportive family. You know, if it was any other person saying, I want to move from this route into this new route, they were probably going to be met with, you know, and stuff. But your parent is always being supportive. Like, can you talk about that, and also how does that shape the kind of performer that you are today?
It started from when I started doing drama. Like, they put me, like, I was doing some school play, and one of the teachers was like, you need to take this child to Mabana and sign her up for drama classes. And I wasn't doing sports, extramurals and all of that. And so that for my parents was like, yes, she's going to get to do something after school. And throughout those years, they started to see just how in it I was. And also, I think they started to see the talent themselves as well, because they were starting to watch the shows and they're like, oh, okay. So they supported me throughout that. But when it came to like after matric, it was like, now, okay, the stakes are much higher. And now this is the rest of your life. You know, I don't think they thought I would actually one day make the decision to do it professionally.
Yeah.
But when the conversation came, I remember the first person I spoke to was my mom, and for a long time she was the only one that knew. And Kimukenika, this like, you know, spiritual conversation of like, you know, when you have a calling, you know, you can't, it's gonna follow you everywhere you go.
You spoke her language.
You know, yeah. And I think that's what made her, like, she wasn't like, oh yes, go for it, but she was like she couldn't say anything to that. It took a while with my dad, because my dad is a teacher and he's always believed in like education, and like, you know, he was like, for him it was he would have loved if I did the engineering, even if it wasn't engineering, but something else, sort of like as a backup plan. And that took a lot of like convincing and conversations, even with my sister as well, like who is also like an academic in her in her own right, you know. My brother is an artist as well. He's also in the same industry as me, but he's more in like the TV sound side. But so he was like, he was just like watching, you know. But yeah, man. So the beginning of it was not easy. It wasn't always like this, and even now it's not like always smooth, like yes, everything, go for it. They are always like supportive in that way, but there's always like honest conversations in between as well, like, okay, so it's been 6 months now, you haven't booked anything, so what are we thinking, like what are we, you know, let's think about the future, let's think about getting that masters, let's think about furthering those studies, maybe another, you know. So they're always in between the support, there's always like honest conversations about our industry and like the lack of security in it. But hey, man, like I thank God every single day for the support that I have from my family, because it's very rare to have my parents travel all the way from Mahikeng to come and watch a reading, like to come and watch for colored, like they will come for, you know, if it's for colored girls or a reading or this, like they, if I say this is important to me, that's all they care about, you know. They just want me to be happy, they just want me to be successful. And yeah, it's yeah, man. I mean, I've also had to like understand and accept that like there are certain things, like there's a certain type of like faith and belief that I have that I don't expect everyone around me to have. Everyone supporting me, I don't expect them to have the same kind of faith and belief, because I've seen the path that I'm on. I know what it is that I'm being led to, and I can't even say it in words, and I don't have to, because it's between me and God. So I'm just grateful that in this time they are still here, and they are still so willing to be by my side, to support me if I need extra nyana for this costume, for this or maybe I'm super broke and I need to go to an audition. I know that no one is gonna be like, hey, the acting no. It's always like, we see what you're capable of, we see where you're going. We're just worried sometimes about this industry and how it's set up, you know. But yeah.
No man is an island.
Yes,
I love that for you and your parents. I'm gonna come back to this conversation. There's a thought that I've been wanting to ask you. We live in a time where we are overly stimulated, you know, in a time where it's a little bit difficult to focus on things, you know. But you seem to like assimilate and absorb all these words, because of most of your works is about words, either be poetry, either be these long monologues that you do that are so beautiful. I just worry for you, like, how does she take in all this information, you know, especially in a time whereby, you know, I'm having this book by Sydney Poitier. I don't know how many months I've been trying to read this. Actually, I was reading it prior to his death, and then after he died, I was like, okay, let me put it aside. And then I'm trying to get it back to it, still struggling, you know, because you can't focus. You're like, okay, I wonder what did so and so post on social media. I wonder, you know, and then you are so unfocused. So I'm just wondering, Jorge, times like this, how do you stay focused?
Hey, it's hard. I wonder when you talk about like reading a book for a very long time. Like I don't know when was the last time I finished a novel or, you know, a book. That doesn't have anything to do with what you were doing. Yes, you know, it like reading for leisure. It's hard to do it these days, but you have to be intentional about your time. About, you know, it's hard when the phone more and you want to. You know, you are here, you're reading, but then a notification comes on your Instagram, so and so just posted, and you want to open it. Turn your notifications off, you know, like in moments where, like, for example, now during this process, I wish I could be able to delete Instagram or my social media, but I can't because I need to like market the play.
Yeah.
You know, so I have to be mindful. Like when if I'm on there to upload something, I need to upload and go. If I'm on there to check messages, I need to just check them and go. Like, don't scroll, don't, you know. And every time I feel like I am sort of like not centered and I just feel like everything is...
Tapelo.
Yes.
Beautiful.
It's the best way to center myself. Like, I will try them all, your meditation, your yoga, your affirmations and all of those things, but prayer for me, and I think it's because it's all of those things combined, right? You're sitting with yourself, it's in a quiet space, and you're speaking to yourself, kind of. You're speaking to God, but God is within you. For me, that's what I believe.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, man, that's the best way. It's the best way I know how. And speaking to people, like getting out of the house and like, you know, speaking to friends, like not isolating yourself and like, hey, deadlines, oh, I gotta do this, and like, oh, yeah, you know. But yeah, that's how I center myself. And it's different also depending on what it is that I'm actually doing. But with this, like, it's very hard. I realize with this process, working alone, I don't work alone all the time, but the first couple of weeks, like, you know, sometimes I'm with my co-director, sometimes I'm with our movement director, and sometimes I'm with my stage manager, like, but because I'm alone, there's no cast, like, I don't have anyone else on stage. I've had to, like, learn new ways of, like, how do I stay focused? How do I make sure that when I get into this rehearsal room, even though there's no one who can see me, I have to warm up. I have to, you know, like, I have to be disciplined, basically. And it's just you just have to do it. Honestly, you just have to tell yourself over and over again. Yeah.
I love it.
Yes.
That's actually very beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Shout out to Daunpile. Shout out to Teresa.
Yes, sorry. I just said...
No, it's okay.
Naked, I'll say it. Mo PC.
No, Lena, I'm just being aware. Those are the kind of questions that go towards the end of the conversation. And by the time we get to the end of the conversation, I have forgotten to like credit people.
Okay. No, yes, definitely.
Yeah. So
yes.
you're working, you're working with the...
Umpile Mulusi.
Mulusi.
Yes.
And then Teresa
Puti Mojela, and my stage manager, Kispe.
Shout out to Spe, Spesihle Fagu there.
She's stage manager and she's a lot of other things that, you know, some of them don't even have titles, but she's like, yeah.
Your artworks.
Like, I'll be like, oh, we need to get this thing for the set, but it's expensive. She's like, oh, I can make that. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She's like so talented. I'm working with I feel so blessed. Like, and how everyone also came into the process. Braumpile and Teresa. Like, it was just like they were like, yes, they were very eager to come in and be a part. So I feel so blessed.
You're working with amazing people on Sintebale. But before we talk about Sintebale, I want to take you back to 2 shows. Actually, before we talk about 2 shows, you mentioned something in that you don't isolate yourself. And as an actor on stage, you embody so many characters. So I'm wondering, how much of humanness or how much of humans do you have to know in order to be a performer?
You have to be, firstly, you have to know yourself. The work starts within. Like, it took me a long time to realize that if I'm dishonest with myself, if I do not accept myself as I am right now with all the flaws, like, not, oh, I'll accept myself next week when I'm fit and I'm eating well and I'm no. If I don't accept it now and I'm not honest with myself, how can I then play a character truthfully, a character with flaws, a character who is not all good and all knowing and perfect, you know. I need to be able to play everything or most things, you know. And so yeah, man, I had to sit down with myself. I had to like you have to, and it's continuous, it's ever going, right? The healing yourself, you know, understanding who you are and understanding why you do certain things the way that you do them, and being okay with that, right? Being okay with the fact that I get perfect. I'm not a cartoon. Like I'm a person. I'm a human being, and and that also helps you to understand and accept other people as well, because if you do the work, the internal work, you'll be able to like something towards you as it is, and like be able to isolate it and look at it and be like, oh, okay, this person is doing this because unahana this thing, or this thing happened to them, or they once experienced this thing, like, and it has very little to do with me. So yeah, that being observant, you know, talking to people, being interested in other people, you know, not just having conversations where it's like you're always just talking about yourself, you know, asking people questions. Like it's you don't even have to be like a people's person or whatever, but you have to be interested in humanity, in the humanness, you know, how it works, how the human works, how the heart works, and like it's like it's in a level psychology, you know, in it and all of that. I remember I got an acting coach who is also a life coach, and his like whole system of working was basically sitting down with an actor like this and getting to the crux of who you are as a person, in order to better your performance. What was the question, and so that I can know that I'm going in the right direction?
We are listen.
Okay.
I was basically asking you about, you know, I get sometimes when you're doing a production, you have to do that research where you're going to be reading a whole lot of stuff, and
Yes.
you know, so I asked you about to basically, in order for you to embody them on stage.
Yes,
You know?
yes.
So I think you did a beautiful work in answering that.
Thank you.
I can tell that you have this radical acceptance of yourself, as you mentioned, you accept the flaws tsa gago, maybe, or mo sa kgone go fitlhella teng. You know, your cup is actually written progress, not perfection.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, you know,
I love that.
So you always perform with poise and confidence. So I was always wondering, where does that come from?
Hey, yeah.
But I could tell, obviously it's come from that radical acceptance, and also being surrounded by beautiful people, and being centered through prayer.
Yes.
I didn't have a privilege of watching you for Colored Woman.
Colored Girls,
for
yes.
Colored Girls,
Yes.
Beautiful production by Ntozake Shang.
Yes.
What was it like working on it?
Oh, it was so beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It was the first, I think that was like the first big play, or like big, like, Nelson Mandela Theatre. Like, it was just, I was when I was told, okay, you're gonna be in for Colored Girl after, because I auditioned, and I auditioned like 2 years before the show even started. Like, I think it was supposed to be, there were dates and things that changed. But when I heard that I got the role, I was just like, I was over the moon, because also there was this challenge of the accent, right?
Yeah.
They were requiring American accents, and it had to be like specific to
A particular state.
Yes, like if my character, Lady in Brown, was Chicago, but like Chicago back in the like 1950s, you know, and so it was still like we were like the South, like it was very like almost like Southern, you know, yeah, and that was fun, like learning that and discovering how like my Tswana tongue can like it can do that. It can like, you know, roll. It can be, you know what I'm saying? Like it's been a while, so but like yeah, man, it was fun working with an accent coach. I'd never had that before, and it was amazing. It was amazing. Oh man, it was amazing. And I remember when I got when James told me which character I'll be playing, he was like, I don't know who else could play this. Like I saw Lady in Brown and I was like, that's Thuto. That's her. And it's funny because when I read like the first opening piece and I realized that I opened the piece and I say the last, like it's okay. Cool. I have to come to the party. And I had to be like, and not even that gefetsa like I just say one thing at the end, like if it's like in a monologue, but like you know, oh man, what a time. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It had its challenges, obviously, like there's always like challenges in work, in creating work, in working with people, but I think we did a beautiful thing, man. And the fact that it also got to travel, it went to Moscow, which was, for me, I was like, oh man, when was I ever gonna go to Russia? Like when this is crazy. Yeah. Like, it's crazy. No one understands. Like, most people don't understand English. There was subtitles when we were performing. Like,
for real.
But we had a standing ovation. Like, people were calling us back, like in encore. Like, when they call you back to, like, the clapping, they say, come back out. Like, we want to hug you and see you. And we're like, what? Okay. It was very, oh, man, yeah, and it also did a lot for me, the character as well, just like working through that and understanding what Lady in Brown's purpose is in this story, like in these different colors of women. And there's not even, it's like the colors of the rainbow, but there's no brown in the rainbow. And I had to also like figure that out and understand, okay, like who is she here? And she was basically like she like delivering the clarion call is what James described it as. Also, it was like a call for women to speak. As simple as that. Just your voice matters. Your voice is valid, and just speak, just go for it. And so it reignited a fire in me that I feel like I don't know if I had lost or if I was losing, but it really it took me back to my days of poetry, and it reminded me of that brave girl. And it was like, okay, that is me. That Thuto at 8 years ago or 10x is still that Thuto today. And if anything, she has grown. She has a lot more life experience now. And yeah, man. Yeah. Oof, colored girls.
I saw some short clips of you doing it, and it was beautiful. The accent, I think you had mastered it.
Thank you.
Thuto o artist le goreng e ipela ka gonna a voice for the voiceless. Are you intentional about the kind of works that you do? Because of all the works that you've been doing, they seem to be centering around having to advocate for something.
Yeah. I think it's like how I believe that we all have to do our part, right? In like, because the world is dark, it is cold, and there are people who cannot speak for themselves. There are people who, even if they do speak for themselves, maybe some people don't listen. And I believe that artists, not just artists, but we all have a responsibility in some way or another to sort of like do something. And I think for me it goes back to my spirituality and like the idea of being a servant, right? The idea of serving. It's like, how do I serve God? I serve God by serving God's people, and not even in like a very like, I'm not trying not in the kanyabo kereke or anything, but just like simply in that way of like, if I have something to offer someone, whether it be a service or whether it be me speaking for that person, and I'm able to do it, I should probably do it, you know? And so it started with the poetry. It started when I was very young and like not knowing how to like deal with like all the things that I was seeing on TV, and like not knowing how to like, I remember the first poem that I wrote, not first, it wasn't the first, but like the first time I wrote a poem and it like went viral back in the day was a poem called Dear Mr. President.
Okay.
And it was literally a letter to the president. I was in matric 2015. It was a letter to the president, and it was like, whew, yeah, it was one of those where I and basically addressing the issues of our country and speaking for the people, you know. And I had that thing of like, you know, yeah, I'm gonna use my voice, I'm gonna use my platform, whatever. I didn't even have a platform, but that's where it started. And so I think it's just something that has like continuously, it's in me. I love working with children. I love children so much. It's something that also, I don't know, I think I realized it in like the past couple of years, or when I started teaching, I just realized just how beautiful these little humans are, and like how much like I wish I could just like put them like here and like, you know, not have the world affect them or you know. So I think because I know that I can't like I can't always be there physically. I can't help people physically, but I can use my voice. I can use my work, my art to speak on issues that not only affect these people, but they affect me as well. And so, yeah. As a, I don't know if I.
We bail.
Okay.
We bail. You know, when you talk about for colored girls,
Yes.
for colored girls.
Colored women.
Shout out to Dozake.
Yes.
You know, what did you make of the film compared to? I don't know. Have you seen the film compared to the theater production? Do you think the film did a justice to portray Dozake's work?
Hey, I don't.
Okay, no,
I think the film was different.
Discussing our future relationships.
But no, man. I think the film was. I mean, Ntozake Shange herself said she didn't really.
Yeah, she was very happy.
Yeah, I mean that's public knowledge. So, it's very different. I won't lie. Like I had. Read pieces of the choreo poem before. Like I had read certain poems, Molele Mole, but I had never read the full play until we did it. And I was like, oh, this is nothing like the movie. Like, yeah, there's in the movie there's like parts where they've taken a few of the poems and a few of the monologues, but like it's not the same. It's not the same. But I also I don't know how it could have like been the same, like because of the person who made the movie has a certain style and has a certain way of making movies, right? And what the play was or is very different from that. You know, if I was to reimagine a film, or it would probably be very poetic, very like artsy, like it would be, you know, not as like, it wouldn't lean on realism as the movie did. But I really, because I was also like the people who came to watch thinking it would be like a reenactment of the movie. Yeah. And that was like, it was kind of interesting. We had like interesting conversations, realizing that, oh, it's not like the movie. No, it's not at all. It's quite different, if anything. Yeah. So yeah, that's my answer. That's my answer.
I wanna use this very conversation to segue into Sintebale, because
Yes.
there's always a clash between writers and directors, because director is going to adapting some written material into a screenplay, because you also have to think about the mainstream. Is this thing going to sell? But there's always a clash between the writers and the directors of productions. But okay, that's not how, but I think your work have to be interpreted.
Yes,
It's a body of work, has a life of its own.
Yes.
People are going to interpret it in so many ways. But what I think Tyler Perry did is that it probably brought attention to Ntoza Keshange for the people that did not, probably brought new audience into that. You are a writer and a co-director of Sintebale, a production that you're going to be staging.
Kari 28 to the 31st of August. Yes.
Can you talk about the fight within yourself as a writer and a director of this production? Did you...
If anything, the fight is between the writer and the performer.
Oh!
That's where the fight is. Because when it comes to the directing, the reason... so I was left with 2 weeks when... 2 weeks in my residency when Braumpile joined. So I had already there were things where I'm okay, I want to do it like this. So that's why we even came into the agreement of okay, we're co-directing this thing. Because I had I had this vision and I just needed someone to help me bring it to life, And so we worked on. So I had a vision, like I said. We worked on certain, parts of it. But sorry, I think the reason I'm struggling to complete my thought is because I want to go back to the writer and performer thing. So that is where, for me, the fight has been. It started even when I was still doing my residency. There was still that me trying to go back. The writer wants to fix this, and the performer is I can't even tell if it's me reading the lines and being this doesn't sit well, or if it's the writer being this won't sit well, And so I've had to learn, because it's the first time I've never written and performed. I mean, I have with poetry, but not theater or acting. And so it's that fight. I had to, I still am going through that now, having to park the writer at some point, to be okay, you've written, let's just pretend the writer is not in the room with us anymore. Now we're working with the performer and the director. So it's a very... it's a constant it's a constant fight. I think we work very well Nalebra Umpile because there's always a conversation. He will probably ask sometimes, a lot of the times, but I'm always I'm ready for whatever. You want me? Let's do it like this. Let's try it like that. Let's try your way. Or what do you think? Or I don't know. How do you wanna? So it's always I'm director at some point, because I wanna be I think I'm used to being a performer and being directed, and so sometimes I can't tell when we are co-directing but it doesn't matter to me. I'm just here are these really amazing, great people who've done great work, and they are here to help me shape this thing. And what I love about it is the fact that they I remember the first time Braumps came with the first time we met, after he had read the script, it was man, ukwadile. And for me that was oh, okay, great start. We are here. This person who's written so many plays and published thinks what I have written is worth something. And so that was also an affirmation of sorts. So it's hey man, it's hard. I won't lie. The writer performer situation is, I have to always remind myself that we've written play ikwetswe, it's fine, it's okay the way it is. We'll have some tweaks there and there, but there's not much. We don't need the writer as much now. We need you to get into performer mode.
Yeah.
Which is also crazy because, sorry, I don't know if I'm going on and on, but when I was doing the residency, I spent like most of the time wearing my writer and researcher hat. So when it came for me to do the staged reading, I wasn't prepped for it. Like the performer wasn't. I had been like just sitting down on the laptop, writing, waking up, eating, writing, and like there was no okay, get performer, the actor prepares, like So I feel like this time around I have to I really need to park the writer and just do the thing that I love the most, which is acting and performing.
That's interesting how you compartmentalize your thoughts, being able to separate yourself as a performer and a writer in this, and also how you were not defensive in having a co-director, because some people are like,
no,
don't touch my work. This is I'm like,
touch it and take. Please do whatever you whatever you see fit.
I think we're probably left with 5 minutes. Can you speak a little bit about the inception of the production Sentebale hore itlile jang?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, I think for a long time I had been seeing missing children's posters or missing people's posters online, Twitter, Facebook. You're scrolling and every 5 minutes you see that so and so is missing, and I was particularly drawn to the children. Like I'd remember these children's faces, and I remember in 2019, 2020, there was a case about a child who went missing, Amahle Tabete, and I heard about the case, and I remember her mom's face because she was like on different news channels every 3 months, every other, like she still hasn't been found. We're still waiting. We're still looking. And I remember feeling very drawn to her story. But also, I was also questioning now the fact that why am I not remembering other children's stories, or why are we not remembering other children's stories? I was very interested in the news reports about these children who go missing, and which cases make it to the news and which cases get popular, are spread, which they all should be, honestly, if we're speaking about it. But I think even when I started going into the research, I realized just how many children have been taken and have never come back home, and just how many families are waiting for their return or hoping for their return. And I then started imagining, because we see the families, we see the people who are left behind, right? But we never really think about the children themselves, and what they I'm sure the families are, but we don't think further than what could they be going through. So I was very interested in that, in imagining, because I will never know, imagining what a child in that situation could be going through. If a child is taken to be trafficked, to be sold, to be killed, to whatever it is, what do they go through and how do they experience that? Because our children are very they're different from us, and how they experience trauma, how they store memory, and all of those things. So I was very, very interested in in that, right? And in stepping into this child's shoes, or in these children's shoes, and trying to imagine, do they fight back, and how does that feel when you fight back and you lose the fight, or when you trust an adult thinking this person is going to take care of you, and then you realize that they are the bad guy. How do you take that in as a child? It's something that I'm continuously working on. This piece is we're premiering it on the 28th to the 31st of August, but it's going to continue to grow. because unfortunately this is something that is still happening, and I wish I had more time to speak more about it. But yeah, man, just come watch the show, come see the show, and come see, and maybe after the show we can have some conversations and further dialogue about this issue. But really, sorry, more than anything, it was to highlight these voices and these children whose names get lost while we scroll, whose faces don't get remembered. And it really is, it is, the title itself is the call. The call is to not forget these children. Sentebale. Yes.
Play in peril.
Yes.
That's how you navigate the story.
Yes.
There was a news article. Actually, it was on television. It was not an article. There was a child who was lost, I think, for almost 4 or 5 days, and then they found this child, Alimo Musimeng, and he was alive.
Yes.
You remember the story?
Yes, the boy.
Yeah. So such plays are very important, because I sat there looking at that video, wondering to myself, what was this child? Because he was in a position where he couldn't dig himself out of that place, But a part of me, when I saw people saying, no, people probably looked there, he wasn't there. Yeah. So probably somebody placed him there to be found. But then the sad thing is that they probably did some horrific thing to that child. Yeah. And then they're going to grow as this traumatic person.
Exactly.
And as soon as because the things that we experience, unfortunately, it's because of the things that we experience as children. Yeah. And, some are found, some Is it a play that we're gonna leave being sad or hopeful? Because I read the synopsis, but I was like, this is heavy. And I'm not saying it should be palatable or somehow, these are real stories, these are about real people, but I'm just wondering the mood of the.
Hey man, it's like I said, it's you have to come and watch to know. But obviously the theme at hand, there's only so much we can smile and laugh about. At some point we have to ask the hard questions. At some point we have to realize that we have scrolled past without sharing, which happens. I still sometimes do it. We have to confront those things, and that's all I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to make people sad or anything. I'm just trying to say, here's a situation, here's a crisis. Our authorities, and I don't know what is being done about it, but what we can at least try to do is not forget them. That's all I am asking with the piece. How you receive it, what you do after that is all up to you. But yeah, I mean, people have said things. There's a review that I posted recently where someone said they were left in tears. So
yeah,
I mean, I can't say how it's gonna make people feel. But I can tell you that it's a very, very important story that needs to be seen, that needs to be shared. We need to continue speaking about this, and not let it die. We have to.
We are people of selective amnesia. We see these atrocious and things that are happening in Molefatsing, and then we rari lebala. We deliberately and purposefully forget them, for our sanity. So I want to say thank you, for making sure we are always reminded. Thuto, I want to ask you two things. KK, look into that camera, invite people, tell them what to anticipate on the show. When is the show? Ticket prices.
Okay, so the show is from the 28th to the 31st of August at the Market Theatre Laboratory at the Ramolawo Makene Theatre. The address is 138 Lillian Ngoyi Street in Newtown, Johannesburg. Tickets are 100 Rand, and they are all available on web tickets. You can also get a 20% discount if you're a student or a pensioner. And the shows are 7 o'clock on the 28th, the 29th and the 30th. We might add a matinee for the 30th. But then on Sunday, it is at 3 p.m. But all the details are on you can get them on, should I give away my...
web tickets, I think.
Yes. You can get them on web tickets. Yeah. That's where you can get the tickets.
Also on your social media.
Yes, you can. My name is Thuto Lesedi Gaasenwe on Facebook and Instagram, Black Girl Prodigy. That's me.
Yes, girl.
Come see the show.
I wanted to ask you what leader but in the back of my head, I'm thinking about how academic your parents are to a point where they named you Thuto Lesedi.
Yes. Literally, my mom was writing exams.
For real.
She was doing her masters, I think, or something.
Thuto, I had a great time and I could buy happy.
Ke tla bua gone ke tshwanetse tshwantse ke tla bua re tlo bua like nako re bua se khwase sengwe se tseneletseng kgotsa re bua Setswana
re tsenelle go tega ke what's your favorite monologue ailing mo tlhogong ya gago ke batla go re tswale ka monologue
wa fosa okay ke re hesa link ka belo. Like the monologue is from the play.
What beat it? Something because information like you.
Oh my gosh.
What's your favorite monologue?
I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's the one that is in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Please don't do this.
Okay. Next time. Okay.
I have monologues on my social media, so you can catch me there.
Next time. Thuto, thank you so much.
Thank you.
KK. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Right, so inalam ke kabelo se gift khang, and this was yet another episode of the Ink and Thing podcast. I hope we have earned your subscription, and I hope you enjoyed this conversation. Thuto,
Thank you.
it's.